Good evening and welcome to the February 10th, 2016 meeting of the Board of Selectmen in Wakefield. Can I have approval of the minutes from a motion and a vote on from the minutes from January 25th, 2006?
So moved.
Second.
Moved, Paul, second. Bets, all in favor?
Aye.
Seeing that no one has signed up for public speaking, public participation, we'll move right down to licenses and permits. The first two licenses involve the same gentleman, Mohi Abraham, a taxi cab license, and driver of taxi cab license. My understanding is that on condition of passing everything through the Wakefield Police Department, that everything looks to be in order. Can I have a motion?
It'll be subject to the police department.
Subject to the police
Madam
department.
Chairman, I move to issue these licenses, both 3A and B.
Second.
Moved by Beth, second by Paul, all in favor?
I just have a quick question.
Sure.
Steve, the approval by the police department, that does their background check?
That does a background,
Yeah.
Corey also looks at the car, fingerprinting, everything. It's
Yeah.
pretty extensive.
Thank you.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then we have a common victual license for Mayory Brown of Rooster Tie and Convenience located at 1117.
1117.
Apologize. Had my hip replaced a week ago, so I'm still, I'm a little shaky. 1117 Main Street.
And this is the Greenwood Food Mart.
Yep. New owners with the Greenwood Food Mart.
Food Mart, yeah.
And Steve, do you have anything to add on
No,
this?
I think that they've come in, they've been through the Board of Health, and they're supposedly, look like they're gonna expand that counter service there a little bit, so nice addition to the area.
Great. And do we have, we'll take the first one.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Betsy, second by Tiz on the common victual license for 1117 Main Street. And on the entertainment license, do you have information on that?
Yeah, the entertainment license there is really just a CD player.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I have a vote on, move on the
I move
the
to approve
entertainment?
the entertainment license.
Second.
Excellent. So a vote on both licenses.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We then have the 30-day liquor license for the Wakefield Infield Chamber of Commerce for Blossoms at the BB this year on April 30th, 2016, from 7 p.m. until 11 p.m. My understanding is a 30-day liquor license for purposes of working with the stock, although they will only serve on April 30th.
Correct.
So moved.
Moved by
Second.
Betsy, second by Tiz. All in favor of that license?
Aye.
Aye. We have another common victual license for Mark Bienstein and Enid Vilcius of Obon Gout Restaurant at 466 Main Street.
So moved.
Second.
Steve, do you have information on this?
Yes, this is the half of the old Molise site. So the old Molise site has been split in half. There's going to be this is a Caribbean type of restaurant on the right-hand side as you look at it. Another establishment's coming on the left-hand side. I would request on this license, Madam Chair, whoever made the motion could add, they still need to work some things out with the building inspector, but I wanted to get them going. They're already in there. They've been through the Board of Health.
I'll
So,
amend my motion to subject to approval by the building
Building
inspector and any other entities that have to give their stamp of approval before they open.
Second.
Moved by Betsy, second by Tiz. All in favor of the victual license?
Aye.
And for the same business, an entertainment license. And Steve,
Yeah, I think this is actually a television in this
Okay.
one.
great.
So moved.
Moved
Second.
by Betsy, second by Paul, all in favor of the entertainment license.
Aye.
Same business, aye. Great, those are all the licenses. We have a few personnel and appointments. The first would be to appoint Michael J. Delory of 272 Albion Street to Precinct 6 as a poll worker.
So moved.
Moved by Paul.
Second.
Second by Tiz. Any discussion? All in favor of appointing Michael Delory as a poll
Aye.
worker?
Aye.
Aye.
Next, we have to appoint Susan Donaher of 4 Holland Road to Precinct 2 as a poll worker.
So moved.
Moved by Paul, second by Tiz. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Third, to appoint Judy Wallace of 18 Edwards Ave to Precinct 6 as its warden.
So moved.
Moved by Paul.
Second.
Second by Phyllis. All in favor?
Aye.
And finally, to appoint Paul Flores as the fill-in plumbing inspector when our plumbing inspector goes on vacation or is otherwise not able to fill that role.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Betsy, second by Paul. All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. Now we're moving to the budgets. Taking them in order, Steve?
We're taking them in order.
Excellent.
We have some of the department heads here. Before Kevin goes, going through the budgets, I will tell you that a lot of the administrative departments have, including this, will get us almost completing all of them, coming to the Board of Selectmen for approval. When you add in all of these, I think we're at about 2% over last year, so we really tried to keep it very lean. Of course, that doesn't include the town clerk, which we had to actually fund the position, and it was an extra election. But all the other administrative functions, departments, we kept at a total of 2%.
Great.
And Kevin will give you when we can chime in.
Thank you, Kevin. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Tonight, the first budget we will look at will be the Selectmen's budget. We're recommending that this budget be increased $20,975 over last year's budget. This breaks down $9,226 to the tax levy and $11,749 coming from the water and sewer accounts and also the Wakefield Retirement Board. This increase is all in personal services. It includes contractual and negotiated increases. And it also includes an increase in hours for the administrative assistant from 35 hours a week to 40 hours a week. The retirement board is picking up 3 hours per week of that amount. The selectmen's budget also includes the cost of the town planner. The expense portion of this budget is level funded. Main expenses within this budget, the cost to print the town report, $3,000. The advertising line item, $15,000, which is used for town meeting warrants, Board of Selectmen's hearings, and other miscellaneous. And under professional services, that's for the traffic engineer for $16,000. Total budget request is $403,477, with $376,128 coming from the tax levy and $27,349 coming from the water, sewer, and retirement accounts.
Madam Chairman, move that we approve the amount for the Selectmen's budget of $403,477 as presented.
I'll second that motion.
Moved by Betsy, second by Tiz. Any discussion? Steve, any comments?
The only comment I would make is that what we did do with this, and there's a slight increase in this budget, we actually did eliminate a position in retirement. So we're covering for another position, and so it's a net savings to the town in the long run.
Great. Thank you. All in favor of, Betsy, was that a?
No, I was
Okay.
ready to vote.
All in favor of the Selectmen's budget?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Now on to accounting.
Next budget, accounting, we are recommending that this budget be increased $13,403. That breaks down $9,984 coming from the tax levy and $3,419 coming from a water and sewer transfer. The tax levy increases are as follows. In personal services, the increase is $6,784, and these are contractual and negotiated increases. Under contractual services, the increase is $3,200. There's a increase of $2,200 in the equipment rental line item, and this is for a new printer in the tax collector's office. The one that we have in there in fiscal 16 was not covered under a lease or under a maintenance agreement, so it's come to the end of its useful life. There's an increase of $1,500 in professional services. This is the town audit with Powers and Sullivan, and this is due to additional reporting requirements. And there was a $500 increase in the tuition line item, and this was based on past usage. Main increases within this budget, $36,200 in equipment rental. This is to cover 8 copy machines in various departments throughout Town Hall in the senior center. and 2 printers, one in the tax collector's office and one in the treasurer's office. $51,000 in professional services, which is the town audit. And in the postage line item, $6,800. This amount is used to mail the accounts payable checks. Total budget request is $374,125, with $360,527 coming from tax levy and $13,598 coming from a water and sewer transfer.
Madam Chairman, move that we approve this budget, the accounting budget for $374,125 as presented.
Moved by Betsy, second by Paul. Any discussion? Steve, any comment?
No, I just want to say that Kevin is really another part of the great team here. We work very well together. Our audits are excellent every year. Big part of our getting our great bond ratings and what have you, and I do appreciate working with Kevin very
Absolutely.
closely.
Great. All in favor of the accounting budget?
Aye.
Thank you. Planning board.
Next budget, planning board, budget number 14. We are requesting an increase over last year of $1,800. This increase is all in personal services and is for the board's clerk. This increase will bring this position more in line with other clerk positions. Main expenses within this budget, advertising $2,500, which is used for their board meetings and also bylaw changes. Printing and binding, $1,500, which is to print various reports and bylaw changes. This department does collect revenue in fiscal 15, collected over $8,600. Total budget request is $12,975.
Madam Chairman, move that we accept this budget in the amount of $12,975 as presented.
Second.
Moved by Betsy, second by Tiz. Discussion? Any comments? Great. All in favor of the planning board budget?
Aye.
Thank you. Board of Health, and Ruth, would you like to join us? And Laurel?
The Board of Health budget, budget number 26, we are requesting an increase over last year of $11,389. This increase breaks down under personal services, $3,876, which is contractual and negotiated increases. Under contractual services, the increase is $7,143. The professional services line item increased $6,647. Last year, we were able to reduce that line item where Reading came on board and was splitting the cost agreement between Melrose and Wakefield. Reading was involved. Reading backed out going into FY17, and that was due what caused that increase. Also, in contractual services, we reduced the postage line item, $451, based on prior year actual usage. And we increased the telephone line item, $947. And this is for services for 3 town iPads, which they use during inspections. We also increased the mosquito control line item, $370, or 2%. The total tax levy request for this budget is $205,367.
I'll move to approve the budget of $205,367 as presented.
Second.
Moved by Tiz, second by Betsy. Any,
I think that this was one of the first ventures we made in regionalization with Melrose. It's worked out very well. Ruth and her team has really taken us to new heights in the field of health, and that goes from mental health to health in restaurants to substance abuse prevention. One thing that we haven't talked about is the grant programs that Ruth has brought in, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars that are really improving the quality of life in Wakefield, particularly for our young and our older people as well. So I certainly appreciate it. Ruth does challenge me, and I like that. No, don't roll your eyes, you do. And really sensitized us to how important health is for everything. In fact, they brought in that interface program Ruth did last year. And I will tell you, which matches mental health services with families that need mental health. services, and it has made a huge difference in people's families for very little money for Wakefield, so a great bang for our buck. So Ruth, thank you for the great work you do for the town.
With a very supportive board to go
Yes,
with that,
absolutely. Yeah.
if I may say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just about getting licenses.
Right.
You're looking
No.
at the
Right.
whole person, the whole body, the mental health, physical health of the town, so it's a great job. All in favor of the Board of Health budget?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we have recreation.
Yes, next budget is budget 27. We have Dan McGrath here, the recreation director, and one of his board members,
Tony Longo?
Tony. This budget, we're requesting an increase over last year of $2,485. This increase is all in personal services and is contractual and negotiated increases. Dan is part of the supervisory union. I will point out that this department does return to the general fund approximately $35,000 a year in recreation fees. The balance of this budget is funded out of the recreation revolving account. The total budget request is $84,547.
I'll move to approve the budget of $84,547 as presented.
Moved by Tiz, second by Paul. Any discussion? Comments, Dave?
Dan has again become a great part of our team. Problem is that he's from Reading, and he talks a lot. But I'll tell you that I'm actually getting inquiries from other communities that want to
Nice.
pick Dan's brain, maybe want to steal Dan. That's not going to happen. But I think we're seeing the programs coming up, and what's been really great in the past year is 2 years is the partnership with schools and trying to really bring everything together. And so I do appreciate the work that they've done. So thank you.
All in favor of the recreation budget? Yes.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Thanks,
you,
Dan.
guys.
The final budget, the veteran services.
Yes, last budget, Veteran Services. I'd like to apologize. Ryan McLean could not make it tonight due to the rescheduling of this meeting. He does send his apologies. This was my favorite budget. This budget, we're requesting a decrease of $6,826 over last year. This breaks down, there was an increase in personal services, $599, which is contractual and negotiated increases. In contracted services, there's an increase of $2,125. The main portion of that, $1,625, is in the professional services line item, which is the amount that we pay to Melrose to cover the veteran director and the veteran service officer. We cover a portion of their salaries. In materials and supplies, it's a $250 increase in various supplies. There's a $200 increase in the Veterans Day line item. And there's a decrease in the recipient line item of $10,000, and this is based on current projections. This line item, the recipients, it does vary from month to month. So far this year, we've had a low of 17 recipients one month to a high of 28 in subsequent months. Main expenses within this budget, under contractual services, the professional services line item, $44,202, which is the cost to be the member, where we share the director and the VSO. The recipient line item, $190,000, which is for veterans' benefits. We do receive reimbursement from the state of up to 75%, and we anticipate a reimbursement this year of $130,000.
Great.
Total budget request is $255,787.
Thank you.
I'll move to approve the budget of $255,787 for the Veterans Department.
Second.
Moved by Tiz, second by Phyllis. Any discussion?
Well,
Comments?
I just want to add that really, this is, again, we had a veterans services that, were not as good as they should have been, frankly. Again, we looked to work with our communities. We work with Saugus and Melrose in this regard. And I think we have a great return on our investment. The outreach is much better. And I think what they're doing with programs, the Veteran Advisory Board, we're seeing a lot more going on here. I've asked them to take on the Civil War Memorial restoration, and they're working on that. So it really is a great, great department, doing very well, and like Kevin said, it's our favorite budget this year because it actually had a small decrease.
Excellent. All in favor of the Veterans Services budget as presented?
Aye.
I'd like to abstain just to err on the side of
Sure,
caution.
absolutely. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
Thank you,
Great
Kevin.
job.
Thank you.
As always. Okay, moving to a library request to accept and expend a gift or gifts to the library in the amount of $1,835.55 from various donors with thanks.
So moved.
Moved by Tiz, second by Paul. All in favor of that gift?
Aye.
Aye. The next is a request from the treasurer to transfer $158,000, $158,162.50 from the town's capital projects account to the general fund so bonds can be paid.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Paul, second by Betsy. All in favor of that request?
Aye.
Aye. The last item, Main Street Market Assessment Report. Our consultant could not make it today, so that has been continued until March 14th. There is some correspondence in our packet. Other than that, comments, anyone? Betsy.
I'll just remind everyone that, think of all the money that you spent on food to celebrate the Super Bowl or playoff games, and try to take a portion of that and donate either an amount to the food pantry. I'm sure they'll accept checks and donations, or drop some food off to them. They're located downstairs in the AmeriCal Civic Center. It's getting cold. There are charities in this town and clubs that help with oil and gas and whatever to keep people warm, but, you know, for heaven's sakes, they need to have some food as well. So if you can drop off something to the food pantry, I think it would be more appreciated than you could ever imagine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Um,
Yes, Phyllis?
I just want to say, I think the town or the fire department have done a great job of notifying the people to keep the cars off the
I agree.
road.
Right.
I mean, everybody has gotten that message, and I'm listening to people, and that is something that's really appreciated, you know. And I think most of the people have done a good job with doing that. And, you know, part of this last snow that we've had has been a tough go, and I think the DPW has done a good job.
Yep, I agree with you, absolutely. Paul?
The only comment I would like to make is to the municipal light and gas department on their work through the storms in restoring power where it was needed whenever there was an outage. And also, in light of the multiple accidents on Oak Street, they installed a new light on that dangerous curve there, which has been a big benefit to that the road and to ease the minds of those who live in that area. So kudos to the light department for a job well done there.
Absolutely. Tom?
Nothing, thanks.
Steve?
Nothing, thank you.
Nothing. All righty then.
Righty.
That was a quick one.
Madam Chairman, I
Yes.
move to adjourn.
Betsy
Second.
moves to adjourn, second by Paul. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you.